People talk shit about you. You missed out on being a kid. You've dated women before. You're not as spiritual as you make yourself out to be. You and Josh have lots of sex. Today I'm filming the people assume things about me video. I think that's what it is. I've seen a few of these and I didn't know what to film today, and I was like, that would be so interesting to film because I actually want to know what you guys assume about me. I posted on my Instagram stories asking you guys. I guess I'm just going to read them out and then respond to the assumptions. I'm kind of nervous. Like, I actually feel like anxious to do this because I'm like, what if everyone's really mean? You had the most perfect high school experience and were very popular. I had the furthest thing from a perfect high school experience. I grew up and I went to an all-girls private school for the first 10 years of my schooling, and then I went to a art school where I did theatre for the next 3 years. When I went to the all-girls private school, I was very popular. I had lots of friends because I was there from like prep to grade 9, so I knew everyone. And I was popular because I was always trying to include everyone and make sure everyone was friends and keep the peace. But as I got into like teenage years, I started to get bullied really, really badly by my best friends. Since I was friends with everyone, anytime there was a drama or an issue, I would be blamed because I was in the middle of it all, and I was always kind of like the peacekeeper, and I was always really loud, out there, bubbly personality, so I think I was an easy target. It was just like terrible. The girls were horrible to me, and yeah, I had a very far from perfect high school experience. I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of school. Even when I went to my art school, I was studying theatre, which I love, but still I always felt really misunderstood, and I've always felt misunderstood in a big group of people. When I went to the art school, I kind of just kept to my own group of friends, and people assumed a lot of things about me in high school, just that I was like a massive bitch and that I was really up myself and blah 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 blah, but really I just was just so wary to not bring much attention to myself and just keep it in my own group of friends who I trusted, because at that point I had major trust issues because I had been bullied so badly. Another one, that you had a rough time as a teenager as people talk shit about you and got the wrong idea. Literally, people, whenever I was growing up, people just always had the wrong idea about me, and it's so funny. The number one thing that when people would get to know me, the first thing they'd say was, wow, you're nothing like what I thought you'd be. Like, you're so much nicer and like different to what I thought you would be like. So yeah. You have been very independent since you were young. In ways, I've been very independent. I've always been very like forthright and like whatnot, but I actually struggled a lot when I was younger to do anything alone. I was so nervous to actually be properly independent. Like, I would get anxious, like really bad social anxiety, just like go places alone or like catch public transport alone or like do anything alone. I used to get so nervous and would always need a friend there with me. And as I've gotten older, I've become much more independent. But yeah, weird little things like weird tasks I would just get nervous about. You try hard not to have mini meltdowns, so it builds up to a big mental breakdown. Whew, that used to be me. I used to bottle up everything and try and just remain calm, and I would kind of use band-aid effects to make myself feel better. Then it would come out in a massive meltdown, and now I've learned that anytime a mini breakdown needs to come up, just let it come up. And I cry pretty much a few times a week in my little breakdowns. I don't know which one I prefer better. Definitely the mini breakdowns are better for you because you're not bottling up so much, but they're exhausting. But I guess definitely bigger than the huge breakdowns. You grew up fast and maybe feel like you missed out on being a kid. This is very true. I grew up really fast. Just because of the circumstances I was in with family and stuff, I had to grow up fast. My personality also adapted to that fine. But there is moments now that I'm like 20 and I'm doing a lot of things that like most adults are still like, I'm not even doing that kind of thing. And I feel like I have this like thing built into me that's just like grow up really fast, and sometimes I wish I could just slow it down or reverse it a little bit, but everything happens for a reason. You had no idea what you wanted to do with your career at 16. I have always had an idea what I wanted to do. Ever since I was little, I just always had this knowing that I would do something, I guess with media or the arts, I guess. Like when I was younger, I just always would say to my mom, I want to be an actress. So I studied acting for literally my whole life. I could have never assumed that I would be doing social media, because that's just a thing that has like popped up in a modern, like in our own little modern world. But I definitely knew I'd be doing something creative and I guess in front of people or for people, in terms of performing or speaking. But I'm lucky, I always kind of knew what I wanted to do, and I'm amazed that it hasn't swayed too much. You've dated women before. I've never dated a girl before. I've never had the like desire to either, because another assumption here was you're bisexual. I'm all good with like kissing girls and like whatever, but I've never had a desire to do anything more with a female or ever to date a girl. I'm, to this point in my life, very straight. Everyone literally always used to assume I was bisexual. Like, I used to get that message so much. You put everyone before yourself and care about everyone's well-being. Yeah, for I guess this is something I love about myself, but then also it's definitely a thing that I struggle most with myself, is that I do put everyone else before myself usually and make sure everyone else is okay, and I will go to great lengths to make sure like my close friends and like loved ones are okay. But the thing is, in doing this, I feel like it actually helps me, because often when I'm giving advice, I'm just giving it to myself, so often helping someone else can normally come back around and help myself. But I used to kind of help people in a way that really did affect me. Like, I would put my whole life on the line and on hold for other people, and would just forget about myself, and then I would wonder why I always felt so drained. As like I'm getting older, I'm trying to learn boundaries and when to say no, and when is like enough help, and when just to be like, okay, this is like enough. So I'm learning, but yeah, that's true. Next assumption, that your relationship is perfect and you guys never fight or have any issues. That is not the truth. That is not realistic for any relationship. But think about it like this. Dating someone in the same industry, in the public eye, with the equal, like we both have really stressful jobs, and stressful as fuck being online and like showing your relationship online, and then having to travel all the time. Like, there's issues and it's hard, but we just know how to communicate with each other. We love each other a lot, so we do everything we can do to make it work. But just because our relationship might look perfect online doesn't mean it is. Every relationship has its ups and downs, but we do the best we can, and it's pretty damn good. Let's assume that you used to sleep with a lot of guys before Josh. This is not true. When I was a lot younger, I feel like I had a really terrible experience with guys and with sex, and just I grew up in a terrible, and have been through some terrible things in terms of sexuality and my own sexuality and like my experience with boys. But pretty much when I got to like grade 10, I set huge boundaries, and I would rarely let guys close or let guys in. I guess I'd been like fucked around so many times, and I had formed such a strong amount of self-respect for myself that I knew what I deserved. So yeah, I didn't sleep around that much before Josh. I was never into that. I was also super insecure in that, I guess, aspect of life. It would make me nervous, and I also find it really hard to sleep with people without having a genuine connection. Despite the Leo confidence, the industry you're in makes it hard to be self-assured. I used to be really self-assured, and I am when I step back from it all and I back myself and I have these moments, but this industry really, really fucks with me. It fucks with a lot of people. It's a really hard industry to be in, especially because I'm so sensitive. Yeah, I find myself doubting myself a lot and doubting my path, and am I good enough, and like, like, am I relevant, like, am I doing the right thing, like, and they're questions that I got past when I was younger, and I thought I already like gotten past this point in my life, but this industry does make it really hard to be self-assured. But I am finding my way back to that, because I am so sick of trying to live out my life and this passion that I have and trying to find my way to do it, but letting all of these external things stop me, and these people, and it's making me become a person that I don't want to be, and a much more judgmental person than what I want to be, not only on myself but on others. So I've realized this and I'm finding my way to move past it and through it. Guys, I'm sweating in this room. There's no air ventilation. If I turn the fan off, that's gonna make a really annoying noise for you guys. I feel like that noise is gonna be even more annoying, but it's just too hot in here to not have the fan on. So, sorry about it. This assumption, you are really, really confident. I kept getting so many questions about my confidence and assumptions that I'm really confident. I am very confident at given times. Like, I'm actually super, super shy and timid sometimes. If I feel like unsure or like, I'll get really shy, and I'm confident when in different groups or when I need to be confident, but normally after being super confident for a long period of time, I'm exhausted. So I don't know, I have my moments of being very confident. Halfway through that, and then my camera just died, so sorry guys. Literally got so many assumptions saying this, that I was a wild child growing up, I was a party girl growing up, I was very rebellious growing up, etc. Very true. I've calmed down a lot. I had a lot of fun growing up. You secretly want to get a boob job. I got a few assumptions saying this, and this is definitely true for me. Since I've lost a lot of weight, my whole body has changed. I have so much extra loose skin and my boobs just aren't what they used to be. They're probably the #1 thing I'm most self-conscious about. Especially because I love fashion and wearing cool clothes and hate wearing bras, and I hate feeling restricted like that. So I would love to get a boob job, and I might possibly do that in the future, or even just get a lift. I know a lot of people are against plastic surgery and all of that stuff, and I just believe that if you're doing it for the right reason, for a place from your heart, or, you know, whatever. I would never judge anyone that gets plastic surgery done, and for me, I know how much it would help with my confidence, seeing as my whole body is so different to what it used to be, and I've lost so much weight that I always used to say that getting a boob job would be my gift to myself as my reward for all the hard work I've put in. So it's definitely not out of the question for me, and I couldn't give two shits about what anyone has to say. I know how much it would help my confidence, and there's nothing stopping me from doing it. I'm a little scared of doing surgery and then having to find time to recover because my work's so hectic, but it is quite possibly something I'll do in the future. You always have a brave face, but breaking on the inside. I'm good at putting on a brave face, that's for sure, but I always do try and showcase when I am breaking on the inside, which is a lot of the time because I'm so fucking sensitive. But I've learnt to accept and love that I'm a super vulnerable and emotional person, and that I struggle a lot with all sorts of fucking random things. But I'll always put on a brave face just to make sure that everyone else around me is okay as well, and there's no point being sad too much or being super upset and negative about things when life is for living, and each day is a new chance. You're not as spiritual as you make yourself out to be. This is the furthest thing from the truth. I'm a witchy little weird spiro girl. Like, yeah, everything I post, everything I do is like a small amount of what I actually do in my real life, my real spiritual practices that I believe in. I used to be a lot more spiritual, like probably like a year or two ago, when I had more time to invest in my spirituality, which I miss, and I'm finding ways to get back to that. But no, I'm very spiritual. Everything I post is not bullshit. Most of my conversations revolve around the fucking moon and people's signs and like what's going on, and also then like doing cards and tarot and like rituals and ceremonies, and yeah, my whole life is very much based around spirituality. You and Josh have lots of sex. So that happens when you date a Scorpio. You take antidepressants to help your anxiety. I've never taken any medication for any of my mental health stuff. I don't personally believe in it for myself. I would rather heal it naturally, and I don't believe, yeah, for me, taking drugs is ever gonna help me with it. Yeah. No, I've never, and I probably would never unless it got really, really bad. You are blunt, in a good way. I'm extremely blunt. I'll always tell the truth to people. You and Josh have been on and off, breaking up and getting back together, but not telling anyone. That's not true. We have not been breaking up and getting back together or going on breaks and not telling anyone. We've been together ever since we started dating, and yeah. Someone else also said, there's heaps about Josh in here, so I'm gonna do the Josh ones quickly. Someone said, you and Josh are engaged. Look, we talk about it a lot, but we're not engaged. One day, we'll get there. You do not want to get married and have kids. This would have been true like about a year ago before I met Josh, but ever since being with Josh, I am like completely open to marriage now. Completely open to having kids. Like I actually want to have like a lot of kids now. And before I literally was like, fuck no, I'm never getting married, never having kids. I was so cold about love and relationships. So I think once you meet the right person, it opens it all up. Never loved anyone before Josh. That's true. He is my first love. Prefer to have a few quality friends over a larger group. Very true. Either move to LA or New York. It's not in my pipeline right now. I love living in Sydney and Australia, but who knows what could happen. You and Josh don't seem as close anymore. Love you both though. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify this. Oh my god, there's so many questions about Josh. Why you guys aren't interested in me? Josh and I are literally closer than ever. I just think that as we've formed into our relationship, we realized that our life is online. Like we want to have stuff that's private for ourselves. Just because we don't post with each other or do videos together all the time or constantly like sharing with you guys what we're doing, like we are pretty much together every single day. Like I've seen him every single day for like the past, I don't even know how long. We do like everything together, so we just get used to each other's company, and we also really like to keep stuff private. He is like the most private person I know, so even getting him to like post our relationship online was like a big deal for him at the start, because he's just like, he likes to keep, I guess, his like love life private, and a lot of me, I want to keep a lot of elements of it private. I love showing like cute photos and videos because that's how I show affection to people a lot of the time, like expressing my like admiration for them publicly. But he's different, and he's also taught me how powerful it is to also have stuff for ourselves. So no, just because we're not posting together as much, doing all of that stuff doesn't mean we are not as close. We're literally closer than ever, stronger than ever, doing our thing and whatnot. My camera died again, and I'm just, honestly, I'm over it. This little camera is just playing up with me today. I just thought I would just quickly get on my phone and film my outro for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm going to be filming more videos soon. I go to New York in a week, and I'm there for a bit, and then I go to Milan, and then I go to Paris. So I have a huge month coming up, but I'm going to be filming a vlog talking to you guys about that. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I've cleared up some stuff about myself for you all. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I love you all lots, and I will chat to you soon. Mwah.